Quick side note, parents, keep yourselves and your children out of these bushes like this. I literally walked past an entire family and there was a little hole in the bushes like that and they were crawling around back behind these things. You want to spend part of your vacation in the ER with a snake bite or some other wild animal bite, go ahead and do that. You have no idea what's in there. Stuff like this in Florida has shit that bites you. Stay out of the damn bushes. Good evening, everybody. Welcome back. Welcome back to the channel. Happy Saturday. Happy college football Saturday. How about those Indiana Hoosiers, huh? 8-0. Congrats. I know I shouldn't be saying that, but I'm happy for their success. I hope they continue it. Anyway, oh yeah, and we got Texas and Vanderbilt in a shootout. Could Vandy take down two top teams? We'll find out. Anyway, I'm here at Epcot temporarily. We're gonna walk through Epcot, out through the International Gateway, because we have to see this so-called cake bake shop I keep hearing so much about. It's been all over social media. Everybody's talked about it. Let them eat cake because it's so expensive. And now they did change the prices a little bit, so you know, see that, but the designer and the older architect in me, I want to see this building and I want to compare it to its surroundings because it's supposed to fit the boardwalk. It's the whole idea behind this thing. Like, that's why they designed it the way they did. So we're gonna blast through Epcot here, go see this cake bake shop. I don't plan on eating anything there. I'll just take a look at it, maybe if I get inside, and walk around for a minute and then take a look at the menu and we'll go from there. But that's the predominant focus tonight. So without wasting any more time, we got a haul to get. We gotta move our ass because we got a long way to go. We got to get from one side of Epcot to the other and all the way around Boardwalk. Here we are. Out through the International Gateway. If you're not familiar, this connects you to all the Boardwalk resorts. Boardwalk, Beach Club, Yacht Club, Swan and Dolphin. You can get to all of them by walking this way, and you can walk to Hollywood Studios from this walkway as well, or take this and get on this Skyliner here. It's always such a beautiful view when you come over this bridge here from the International Gateway. This project took almost, I think it was 2.5 years, because this was formerly the ESPN club. They have quite the crowd out front, I will say that. All right. Oh, there's a line just to get into the bakery. My God. All right. Well, I don't know if we'll get inside, but we can at least take a look at the menu. But first, before we do all that, since this is out on the boardwalk, that's in theory what this is supposed to be themed after, is a boardwalk, because there are two other locations in Indiana of all places, Broad Ripple and Carmel, and they all have different themes. So the menu's up there. We'll take a look here in a second, but I want to go to the Boardwalk Hotel for a second, and then we'll come right back here. The amount of lines out here to get food, like corn dogs, pizza, and drinks, is just unreal right now. This place is genuinely packed. So we made it to the boardwalk. We're going to take a look inside here for a second. I have a method to my madness. This resort is kind of the centerpiece for the entirety of this area. This is Disney's Boardwalk. Down there is Yacht and Beach Club. So this whole place is designed to represent a boardwalk. I thought I was smelling something. S'mores. Those smell really good. So we're going to go inside here. We're going to break this down for a second. We'll do a more detailed vlog on this resort because there is a lot of info about this place. But I need to lay out the groundwork before we go back to the cake bake shop. So one thing I want to do here is I want to compare two pictures looking this way. Disney recently has been renovating all of these resorts, and there is quite a striking difference. So while we have this here, we'll put up a picture right next to it here, and you can see the difference. They basically swapped out a lot of the furniture, the original furniture, for like this cheap IKEA type crap. I mean, I'm sorry, but this furniture looks way too modern to be 1940s. The whole theory behind this and the theming is 1940s Atlantic City Boardwalk. I'm sorry, it don't look like it. The rug does. The rug used to fit very well in this, but they've got the color schemes all wrong, and they've lightened up way too much of this. That green back there used to be way darker. It just has changed a lot. But anyway, I didn't come in here to criticize Boardwalk tonight and the new renovations. I came in here to get an idea of what this place looks like and how it's supposed to be designed like a 1940s Boardwalk style amusement park on Atlantic City. So now that we got a little bit of a taste, let's go back to the cake bake shop. And if it's true to form, it should look similar to this, if you want to keep up with your theming. So you can see the theming of the shops around here. They all have the old style awnings, you know, the neon right there. Flying Fish is a fantastic restaurant. But you can see how the theming kind of continues with the incandescent light, the light bulb, the big light bulbs, the canopies, the awnings, the actual boardwalk, the insane amount of people out. I cannot believe how many people are here. So here you have it. We're back to the cake bake shop. The one thing I do think is kind of neat is this building back here where the dining room is represents like a pergola that you would see in a carousel house. That is kind of a neat touch. But the first thing I'm seeing, it's too freaking sterile, my God. Do people not believe in color anymore? Take a look at this menu. Keep in mind these prices, that's for one slice of cake. So that's the dessert side of things. Now this is the main dining room. This is the actual restaurant. So you can kind of see on the inside, it is so freaking sterile looking in there. Like you can see in the middle though, it looks like the center part where that pergola is like a carousel that you'd sit around, which is kind of a neat detail. Wow, they weren't kidding about the menu pricing for that place. It is, what I'm gonna do is we're gonna kind of scroll it here. And yeah, as I walk back towards Epcot, I'm gonna let you take a look at some of the pricing. It is not cheap, and what blows my mind is there is a whole bunch of people waiting to get in there. Just for put in perspective, a shrimp po' boy, $34. There must be gold in that thing. I mean, slices of cake, $22, $24. I had heard it was expensive, but I wanted to see it, and it is very expensive. And again, it's just mind-boggling that there's so many people waiting to eat in there. I guess, you know what's crazy, and we'll do a vlog on this a little bit later, but you can't go on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, or TikTok without seeing about how difficult the economy is and how people can't afford to live. It's everywhere. People are always complaining, they can't afford to live, there's no money. But here you have a restaurant with slices of cake that are like 24 or 25 bucks. People are lined up to get in. It's crazy. So I actually found a YouTuber that ate here, a local YouTuber. I'm not gonna say who it was, but they showed their receipt, and I'm gonna attach that here as well. That's one person. There's whole families in there, families of 3, 4, 5 or more. Take that bill that I show you and add that to 4 or 5 people. Yeah, big number. So there's not a lot of people on this side, so we might take one more look inside. Again, I don't want to bother people while they're eating, but I also you just can't walk in there either right now, so try to get you another look on the inside, and then we'll talk about it going back towards Epcot. It looks like they started decorating for Christmas early, which is great. But holy cow, okay, there's nobody here right in this area, so wow. Yeah, that centerpiece you sit around is like a carousel, but there's nothing inside of it. Like, how cool would that have been to have an actual carousel in there? All right, well, you kind of get the idea. All right, let's walk. What are my thoughts on this place? Well, I'm sorry, a lot of people are going to disagree with me, but the architect / designer inside of me is too sterile. It's just no color in there. What happened to color? And I've noticed this with a lot of modern style of architecture. There's no color anymore. It's nothing but squared off edges and these colors of beiges, grays, whites. When I think of 1940s Atlantic City Boardwalk, I'll show you what I think about. That's what comes to mind. Not pasty white and sterile. I'll give you another example. Look at that one, the stained glass. And the heavily upholstered chairs, the heavy timber construction. The incandescent lighting. The other thing I want to go back to on this is, look, notice the arching. The arching in the construction. And all the murals and the paintings and the colors. That's Boardwalk style. 1940s, if you want to go along with the theming. I mean, to be fair, the whole Boardwalk resort kind of loses its color down on this end, meaning it goes all to like this sterile white. But over there, you've got all the reds. You know, you've got the teals, you've got the colored awnings, you know, same thing over there with the crest of the wave. You know, it really does, and you have the incandescent string lights. They were very popular during the Boardwalk times, and still are. But then you throw this cake bake shop here, which looks, I'm sorry, it like looking from this end, it does match the end of the Boardwalk, but it doesn't fit with what they're trying to do here at all. You go from 1940s style design to modern architecture. I mean, do people not know how to work with a color palette? Do they not know how to work with archways, rounded things? I hate modern architecture for that reason. Everything's squared off. It's boring and minimalist. I cannot stand that. And again, I know there's a lot of people who be like, oh man, what are you talking about? This looks wonderful. No, it doesn't. If they would have taken that and actually put some thought into it, because if you look at the ones that this lady has in Carmel and Broad Ripple. They all have their own theming. One is like a quaint house. It almost looks like a greenhouse, and it's designed to look like that. It really does look nice. But this one here, it's just sterile. And you think about how long it took to build that thing. For that kind of time, you would have expected like hand carved wood, for crying out loud. But it's just that typical slapped together, like cheap press board, you know, plain colors, no personality. I mean, it's expensive, it's got that personality, but it's not something you go in there and be like, wow, look at the detail. People are in there for the food. And I think that's where Disney really misses these days. It's what used to be about the environment and the food. Now it's just about the food. They don't care about the environment anymore, or what you're immersing yourself with. And that's why I think Epic Universe is going to succeed, because they have several restaurants and shops and attractions and dining that are all going to immerse you in this world that is going to be epic, as they say. It's just, I don't know. For that kind of time frame on an architectural project, that should have been so much more. All right, as we come back down into the International Gateway, we got to go through the ticket tap style here. Let's see how far we've walked here. 1.57 miles so far. Actually, I thought it was a lot farther than that. But anyway, that was the cake bake shop. Like I said, I'll scroll the menu from here to where we go through security right now. Let me know what you think of this menu. You know, and also too, before people make the argument, well, they have to have high prices, they're on the boardwalk. Yeah, I get that. But that means Trattoria Al Forno should be charging outlandish prices, and they don't. You know, I mean, is it expensive? Yes. But nothing compared to the cake bake shop. Especially too, because the prices at the Indiana locations are nowhere near what that is. But again, I know it's on Disney property, and I'm sure it's a pretty penny. However, it just boggles me that there's so many people lining up to just have this experience. And that's why people keep wondering why prices keep going higher. That's exactly why. Because people can't just say no for a few minutes. They gotta do it. If you're missing out, gotta do it. And the prices go up, and everybody complains, and you do the same thing again. Prices go up higher, everybody bitches, it goes up higher, and so on and so on.
Zach, bang it up. You ready to feel good tonight? Well, this song has introduced us to a lot of people. It might have been the first song you heard from us. Okay. We'll see if you recognize it.
Take me back to 1997. Well, ladies and gents, that was the cake bake shop, kind of, sort of. I didn't get a chance, obviously, to go inside. As you can see, insanely crowded. It's hard to tell how big it is in there. It doesn't look that big, but, you know, I did see a bunch of empty tables, so, I mean, who knows? That design, man, it's so sterile. My God, what I keep saying, what do people have do they have an allergy to colors? Like, I don't, like, there's no color palette in modern design anymore. It's a perfect example. Take a look at the new Epcot construction. Same exact shit. Everything is all squared off, sharp edges, not a lot of color. Like, what happened to design? You know, designing for the time period that your restaurant or building is sitting in. You know, everything is just, it's generic now. You know, that's all it is. You take some of the little, you know, I do like the what do you call it, the little icicle looking things in there. Like, you could tell they're decorating for Christmas, or maybe that's how it's going to be all year. I don't know. We'll see, you know, later on. But you know, we are not that far away from the Christmas season, November 1st. So they might be getting started early. Not sure. But when I see something like that and where it sits, my mind just thinks differently, I guess. I think of vivid colors. I think of, you know, a carousel, or, you know, a lot of golds, like golds, the old brass from the old carousels, the bright colors that the carousels were painted with, because all hand painted. You know, the ornamental designs, the curvature, everything was curved, you know, and with slight angles. Am I off, or am I way out in left field on this? Like, is it me? Or is everybody just like this new modern boring shit? Even like with houses. Look at new houses compared to older houses. Even from the 1980s and 90s. New houses, it's just plain old cookie cutter, open concept construction. Whereas the older designs had intricate interior designs. Which is why houses these days burn so much faster, because it is open concept and fire races through that shit incredibly fast. The other thing I would talk about real quick is how this compares to, again, everything else. When they redid World of Disney, the shop at Disney Springs, that was another one. That store was divided up into all these little rooms, and each room had different themes. They had bright colors. They had really detailed carpeting in them. I mean, it was a cool shop. It had all of the figures up in the ceiling. I mean, it was an experience just walking in there. But we've seemed to forego the experience now and just put people in a generic space and charge them an arm and a leg. Oh, it's Disney property. Okay, I guess I'll pay it. Here's $25 for a cake slice. Again, I'm sure it's good. It looks good. Some of it looks really good. But again, $25. It must be gold laced. Or, you know, maybe it comes with a happy ending. I'm not really sure. Somebody, you know, somebody visits your table and pulls a curtain across. I mean, I'm not really sure what else comes with that $25. But again, that's one slice. That's not the whole cake. So it just baffles me that I see this stuff. You know, it's always jam-packed, and I know it's social media driven. It's that what I've talked about before. It's that fear of missing out. We can't miss out. We have to have this. No matter what it costs, we have to do this because I saw it here, and I don't want to miss out on it, because then I have to be able to talk about this. That's my opinion on it. You know, and the thing is one of these days, you guys are going to hear me give something that's really, really good. And I have a feeling it's when eventually I get into Epic Universe. I promise you, I'm not a complete, like, just dick that rips on everything. I'm just very, it's my mind. I'm just detail oriented. That's all. When I was going through architecture and design, and then even that in interior design at Purdue, it was all about learning your spaces and learning where you're putting things, you know, and matching it up to your surroundings. Making it blend, combine it with some old and new. Just like this new Epcot construction, same thing. Epcot's all rounded off. Everything's rounded because that's how we thought the future was going to look in the 80s. And what do? They build that bland-ass Communicore Hall with modern lighting and sharp angles. When it should have been rounded, they should have just rebuilt the old Innovations West building with the rounded edges. So I just feel like that cake bake shop was a miss. They had a chance to really theme this up Because again, if you look at the ladies at her designs in Indiana, in Broad Ripple and Carmel, way different than this one. Those actually match the setting that they sit in. This does not. It's just there. And so, but people are lining up to spend their money, you know. And like I said, who am I to tell people how to spend money? I mean, it is what it is. But I just find it amazing that we got people lining up for $35 sandwiches, $25 slices of cake, $10 cups of tea, and yet every time you go on social media anywhere, YouTube, TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, people are bitching about how nobody's got any money and nobody can afford to live. But somehow we can afford, you know, well over $100 in food at a restaurant. That's not a Michelin star, might I add. That is Michelin star pricing right there, folks. That is not a Michelin star restaurant. If it was, it'd be advertised. And yet again, somebody turns on their headlights. God dang it. Oh, this is such a fun job, isn't it? This is a pain in the ass sometimes. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you appreciate it. Let me know what you think. Maybe you think I'm out of my mind. Maybe you think I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe you think I do. Who knows? Look forward to seeing it. Appreciate your support, everybody. We're growing. Slowly but surely, we're growing. And I can't thank you all enough, honestly. I got to work tomorrow a little bit, Sunday. And then we'll be out and about. I got some stuff planned for us tomorrow, so lots more ahead. Thanks again, everybody. Appreciate you. This has been the truth. It's been actual. I hope for everybody watching it was mighty satisfactual. See ya.
Now again, the 2-2. Swung on, hit high in the air to right field. Betts going back on the track. At the wall, she's gone. Oh, there's a Soto photo. He hits a high drive to deep right. Mookie went back, gave up, and the ball landed in deep right field for the tying home run. He's wonderful, marvelous. Juan Soto ties the game with a long home run, and we're knotted at 1.
And that ball went only 386 feet, but it's long enough for the first Yankee home run, brought to you by your local Kia dealer. Visit Kia.com to discover movement that inspires. I don't think anybody was sure where that ball was. Was it going foul? But it was a shot. It's very high, but 386 feet. Right by the, as close to the foul ball as you can get in a little area that doesn't have seats in it.
Aaron Judge takes a pitch.
Wow.
Low. Yeah, I thought it was going to be headed into the bullpen, but it actually veered to the right and went in the... They have a few sections of seats.
His 4th homer of the postseason.